All right, with me, Stephanie Kolsters, museum curator at the James Naismith Museum, and Suzanne McFarlane. Good morning to both of you. Suzanne is Mississippi Valley Conservation Authority as well. Are you the authority? Or
I'm the community relations coordinator.
All right, good. So we're talking about something that I think a lot of us are very aware of in this part of the area, but whether or not you're aware and whether or not you go are two different things, right? It's time to celebrate somebody who's very important to the world of sport and maybe to the world in general, James Naismith. And he has this incredible history beyond the invention of basketball, doesn't he?
He does, and I think a lot of people don't really realize exactly what he's done. For example, this football helmet that's here, James, as a boy in sports, suffered from cauliflower ears.
Right.
Used to get in the way and get hurt, so he actually devised this helmet, which became the football helmet.
And he was just one of these people who just engineered his own things. Right next to the football helmet, he didn't have a lot of money when he was growing up, huh?
He didn't. He was orphaned when he was 10 years old and went to live with an uncle. Mm-hmm. And everybody else at that time, of course, was skating on the ponds. And he, of course, didn't have any money, so he took some files and some wood and leather and made his own skates to strap on his boots.
So he didn't really have that "I can't" attitude. There was never, the words "I can't" didn't happen.
I don't think so. The uncle that he lived with was not the most affectionate person. Okay. And I think James Naismith knew that anything that he wanted, that he was going to achieve, he had to work for it or create it himself.
Yeah, there's a 3-on-3 basketball festival coming up, is that correct?
There is. It's held in August. Mm-hmm. The Naismith Foundation used to be responsible for holding this 3-on-3. It's now been turned over to some different people that are going to organize it. We were having some trouble getting volunteers and stuff, but now we have some really strong, dedicated people that are going to take that over now.
In beautiful Almont.
Yes.
It is a beautiful spot, and it's a great place to visit, and you get this idea of our history. James, of course, just invented basketball, but what's more interesting than that to me, because I think people know that, is why that happened.
Well, James was teaching at the time and had a class of really unruly boys. They were bored with baseball. He couldn't keep them interested in anything at all. So his boss, Naismith's boss, put it onto him to create this new game. So Naismith thought back to all the games that he used to play as a child. One of them happens to be the Duck on the Rock game that he used to play. The big Duck on the Rock, the Naismith Stone, is actually in the museum. But the concept of that game was to throw rocks and knock somebody else's rock off this big stone. When Naismith decided that instead of rocks, we would use balls. Right. And I don't think a lot of people know, but the baskets were initially on the floor. Then they put them up on the walls because the balls kept bouncing back out. Okay.
And then we know the transition from that came to a hole in the bottom of the basket to get the ball out easily, and then it just became fall through the basket, and we have what we have today. Not much has changed. Just dribbling wasn't a part of it earlier.
That's right. Okay.
And now it is, but that's really it. I mean, all those rules he came up with. It's pretty amazing.
It is really amazing when you think that, he really didn't profit from the game, nor did he want to. That just was not in his nature. But he lost his home. He even turned down a cigarette company had actually offered Naismith a lot of money to do some advertising for them. Mm-hmm. Naismith said no because he was so against smoking. Wow. So
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
And you know what? We only just scratched the surface just now, and we're out of time already. I can't believe it. We explore so much about him. His close relationship with Tate McKenzie and their lifelong friendship, and the different important people who came by to visit and be there. So you can check this out. How do people come and see the museum? They just drive there and come on in, right?
Yeah, come and visit us in beautiful Mississippi Mills.
It's the Milliken Conservation Area.
There you have it. Go and check it out. It's right in your backyard, a little staycation sort of. You still get to get out to a beautiful spot, but not too far.